Okay, so I thought this would at least give you kind of a heads up. There's a new dinosaur good morning song, because I know sometimes they're drinking their water, and I don't want to forget to do the good morning handshake because that's a really good social skill, but this is super cute. It also has, it's like the daddy finger and all that good stuff. So if you wanted to, as an incentive, you could give them the little finger puppets that we have that are so cute, that they could use during this time, or you could just put them on and you could use them. That's up to you, but this is a time where you could utilize them. You could hold off and utilize them later. If they're already sitting nicely for this, you may want to do that later. And then we go straight to attendance. I took out the clap your hands and, all of that song because there's a lot of movement in this one, so we don't need it. And then I think I told you the 3 Hispanic boys are up here just so it's easy for you to remember. And then the 2 boys who know their names well are in the middle, and then the girls are at the bottom in alphabetical order, Danny, then Taraji. And then this is just the video, the one that you already know. I would just pick one of them, up to you. Then this one you already know. And then this, you can do one or both of these. That's just up to you, depending upon how early we get in, or if you want to try them one day and see which one they prefer, you can do that. Also, you could have, just depending upon how engaged they are, you could have one of the kids come up and pick one themselves. That's up to you too. I've had years where I'm able to do that, but I haven't had success this year with that so much. This is D is for dinosaur, obviously. This you could trace. You'd have to go to the pin, which is down here at the bottom. And then you could have, either you could trace it and go down and around, or you could have someone else trace it. That's up to you. And then there's the magic button down there. Again, you don't have to do that, and maybe that's something you'll add later because we're going to do this for at least 2 weeks. So anyway, D is for dinosaur. And I would also tell them, D is for Danny, D is for Miss Drain. So there's that. Sorry, my kids are loud. Okay, here's the dino counting. Let me go back to the arrow. You always have to make sure after you use the pin that you go back down and use the black arrow down here. But again, you don't have to use that. So then this is just a short dino counting one that I put in there because over here, the dino movement, while they're watching this one, then you can be getting the stuff ready to do this. And of course, I will help you, especially the first couple of times, to get everything ready and navigate all of that. So I think after a couple of days, you'll be able to do it by yourself, of course, with help from Gina while Alandra, or depending upon when we go in, while Alandra's doing pottying. Down here, just ignore that. That's the regular counting one. I just kept it in there in case I need it in the past. Here's this one. This is when you would need to get the pin again. Actually, you wouldn't even have to. Once the kids go to the board, it just traces it automatically. But if you need to, here, just go to the pin. And if you felt like it, down here are some options to do a fancy pin, but that might be visually a little bit challenging until you've had some time to work. So then the kids can trace these. And then magic button here. And, I would let one of the taller ones do this, but you can also do a stool. And you may have to hand over hand some of this. And this bottom one, if you're doing it with somebody who might have a harder time tracing it, you can just take the ball off of the stick and just hold the ball, and that's good for their muscle development there also. So then, and if you forget to do the magic part, we can do that afterwards, no biggie. This is a big get up and movement one. This is when I would normally I have the dinosaur masks on the sticks, and we would march around behind the donut counter and back. if you'll just watch that one, it's the if you can just look up the video so you can kind of see it. And there's a part where they have to lay down, they have to take a rest. You know, usually I think I get them to stand up towards the end of the song. So at the beginning, they're just marching in place in their cubes, and then, or standing up, either way, marching. And then after they, I think it's after they eat, then they get up and march around the room. And then their incentive to sit down after that's over is that they do the color dinosaur song. And you have the dinosaurs at home, so you could go ahead and pick out the different colored dinosaurs. I should have one of each of these. If you don't have it at home, then I'm sure I have some in the sensory table. Or this could be a time that you could use those color puppets, finger puppets, either however you would like to do that. And then that they sat down, and the motivation to give you the whatever item you gave them is that they get to now stand up and do the dinosaur stomp. And then these are just videos that you can use if you need the time. You know, either we didn't get to go outside, or we're stalling for speech, that kind of thing. These are just extra videos that are in there, but they don't have to be used. I think they're each between like 10 and 20 minutes long, so they're good to have. And then this, I would like to, at some point, I have this book, and this is a cool like accompaniment. It just has like a rap to it, and I read the book to them. I'm not sure visually if you are able to do that, if you feel comfortable doing the rap, but the kids really, really like it. So I'd like to do it at least one day. So if you put it in your plans someday, I would love it. Just whenever you feel like having me do it is great. And then I stuck the emotion song at the end, and then that's it. So on a typical day, if it's close to 10 o'clock or at 10 o'clock, I would do the dinosaur stomp, and then they would go back to their cubes. They would go to the table. Or if you wanted to calm them down for a minute before they go to the table, you know, that's up to you. So if you have any questions, let me know, and I hope I can get this to send to you.